Hi there, students. A permacrisis. A permacrisis. Okay, this is a noun, a countable noun. A permanent state of crisis. So it seems that Europe or the world at the moment is in a permacrisis, a permanent state of crisis. There's been COVID, there's been the war in the Ukraine, now there's the war in Gaza. We just seem to move from one crisis to another. Oh, and I forgot to mention the global warming crisis as well. So a permacrisis, a long period of political instability and insecurity, particularly at a global level or at a countrywide level. A permacrisis comes normally from a series of catastrophic or a series of terrible events. And yeah, maybe we as humans, it's something that is the way we live. We live in permacrisis, from one crisis to the next, to the next, to the next. Yeah, it's a the idea of moving, of lurching from one crisis to the next, to the next, and the previous crisis only really disappears when there's an even bigger crisis that appears on the horizon and eclipses it. Okay, so I think many of our systems are in permacrisis. I think clearly our ecology, our environment, is in a state of permacrisis. Yeah, it's a permacrisis. You feel like you're living through war, through inflation, through political instability. It's something that just goes on and on. So permacrisis, it just continues. As the Queen said several years ago, annus horribilis. Yeah. Okay. So the permacrisis, it's we do what we can to reduce these crises, but one after another, there are crisis, an extended period of instability, a series of catastrophic events, one after the other. A period of risk, serious damage, loss, problems in different places, or maybe this is just a way of perception that whenever we turn on the news there is a new crisis, a new big problem, and perhaps these problems have always existed but we're just not as informed about them. So I don't know, a permacrisis, it sums up how we live. It sums up the world that we live in. One scandal to the next, one crisis to the next, and there are risks or problems on all sides, and we do what we can to resolve the permacrisis, but it won't be very long until there's a new permacrisis. I think maybe this reflects man's feeling of insecurity, that maybe the world's going to come and mess everything up. Okay, the world seems to be trapped in a permacrisis. Yeah, from the pandemic to climate change to one war after another. But I think maybe this is I think it's maybe the way that our leaders or the press want us to see it, because like that we need our leaders to help us sort out the crisis of the moment, and if there were no crises then we would need them a lot less. Okay, so a permacrisis, just lurching from one problem to the next, to the next, to the next, a permanent crisis. Formality, a permacrisis. I think I'm going to give this a 5 in formality. I think you could use it absolutely anywhere. Maybe it's a touch informal. Use it anywhere though. And as to origin, well, it's a permanent crisis, and yeah, life seems to be a permanent crisis. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. A Permacrisis.